Hi guys, this is going to be another video slash message, channeled message, that's a part of the segment AIM, Amanda's Intuitive Movies, or Amanda's Intuitive Photography. I'm a photographer. It's another one of my creative endeavors. I really enjoy it. I really like getting messages that way. And intuitive photography could be anything from like the events leading up to it, the weather, the way it looks, how it feels. It could even be the simplest things you never thought of, like something in my house, something over there, something like really stupid, something that's like so small. I'll even take a picture of that. Like it's anything, it's intuitive. It's what you first feel drawn to. It's what you first want to take a picture of. Doesn't mean it's going to be perfect or make sense. That's what intuitive photography is, or intuitive meanings are. It's like the card meaning itself and what you can come up with, what you see. I really hope these messages inspire you to aim, intuitive movies, to aim for the trees, aim for the stars, aim for much higher. Don't place any limitations on yourself because nature is a beautiful thing. Sort of my catchphrase. But anyways, yeah, to me, photography goes way deeper than just taking photos on your phone. Like anyone can do that. Anyone can do that, but like what else goes into it? Camera settings, quality, so much goes into it. Okay, I'm getting on the fence, waiting for you. On the fence typically means not sure or still thinking, to be continued. In literal terms, outside of my immediate interpretation I picked up on the fence can indicate a state of neutrality, not picking sides in an argument, not competing, or the inability to decide because of a lack of courage. The bird would stop on the fence. I'm going to put the picture up here. It would stop on the fence at the part where the circle or the diamond kind of framed it. As I walked, the bird would go a little farther to catch up with me or meet me at another part of the fence that I would soon walk by or walk towards, but I wasn't there yet. It almost felt like a beat you to it moment. Meet you there, see you there. It's like wanting to place oneself in the line of fire. 9 of Wands. Seeing this as a line of fire. It stood still enough for me to take a picture. Keywords: framing technique. Framing is a technique in photography, kind of like the rule of thirds, where it's like it was right in the middle. I even cropped it, or I counted the other parts of the fence because he's in the middle of this one, and it's like the same amount on each side. It's perfectly in the middle. It's almost like the rule of thirds, or it's like framed. It's like, pay attention to me, look at me. I'm in your line of fire. I'm in your little bubble. What are you gonna do? At the park, as I was going back to the car, or my car, the same bird approached me again, doing the same thing. But this time, instead of beat you to it, it felt like more like, hey, before you leave, I have to say this. You have to see this. Just let me get one more thing in before you go. Then you can make a choice. On the fence, it's all about not making a choice, not knowing yet. Like, I don't know how to feel about this. That's also what 9 of Wands can mean. This even like symbolizes exactly what went down. It was like, okay, I'm 3 steps ahead of you. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep going. I don't know where this is going. I don't know why this bird is following me, but we're gonna go with it. And then I felt guided, as you can clearly see, to edit it with a blur to make it stand out, because it already was. It's in a diamond shape. Remember like what I said about it being framed? And this is where things get really juicy about this message. It all intertwines with you and even intertwines with like the photography. I posted this in the community tab, to how it's the same bird that looked through my window. It has the same feel of someone looking for you or someone dying for a way into your good graces. Just like the first one, like all of this is connected. It's giving me the scenario of someone finding an excuse to talk to someone or approach them, or maybe without doing it directly. As I said before, they just want to be in your line of fire, Nine of Wands. Considering I saw the bird in a different place prior, the message here is familiarity as well. Like, this bird literally came into my house, got its way in. It's almost like, feels like, what do they call that? Thought out, planned, careful. So I was familiar with it already, but it was a different setting or on different terms. It's the same thing for you guys. For example, a person can just be a passive character in your life before, like, hey, you see them around, maybe they live near you, but then it's like you're introduced again. I heard, wow, what a small world. Who would have known this is related or connected to this? Who would have known these two bird pictures are connected into one message? The same bird got into my house after I saw it plenty of times by my window. Like, it literally looked in my window, and I used to like call it the creepy bird, or like the bird that's like watching me, stalking me, because it was the same one. I believe it was a robin. My dad even joked that the bird was looking specifically for me, and I thought nothing of it until dun dun dun, the other photo. Back to the message regarding the bird on the fence. I said it felt like the bird was waiting for me to catch up. It's like when someone is like waiting, or I mean walking really fast, but they turn around to check up on you. Like, maybe you're going at a slower pace and they want to be fair, so like, okay, I'll wait up for you. I don't want to go too fast because I'm concerned. Part of the meaning of being on the fence is due to a lack of courage, but it's like there's courage now. And usually when I see, as I'm channeling a card in my head, or I feel like it's relevant to my story, to the art, this was underneath as I like scrambled for it before I started the video. This is like dominant. Not in a way that it scares you, like, oh, you're such a creep. It's almost like this like energy, the audacity, like the effort. I'm not used to this. It's almost like this, I don't care how I'm viewed. I'm going to assert myself. I'm going to make myself known, but not in a pushy way. Someone who knows who they are. I'm seeing the bird entering my home now too as this, like, once again, the audacity of them energy. This is someone that's not afraid to be bold. This is someone that's not afraid to embarrass themselves. This is a bird that's clearly not scared of us humans or what could potentially be on the inside. That's a risk it was willing to take for some reason. Like, you know how animals are usually protective of themselves? That's in their nature. They're pretty timid. Because I know with some animals, it's like you make even a small movement and they're off. But this bird was literally just standing there in this same position, almost like staring into your soul. It's still up there. I'm going to put it up here. Like, does that not look the same? And it's sitting on furniture. It's on, like, my living room curtain. I feel like that's even relevant, too. Usually I'd see it in my room or through my window. It's almost like it's looking for me. Like, I need to get to her room. I want to go here. But then it made its way into my house, finally. And then it's in my living room. It's like, I'm in the wrong room. But I'm getting closer. I'm getting warmer. It's almost like one more step forward. Something about a conversation in a living room, too. Just like something coming into your private space. Kind of like how our rooms are a private space or a private sanctuary. You don't just let anyone in there, you know? So this is odd. And like I said, the fence with the bird outside also resembled a diamond in the middle, right? It's as if this isn't just a choice. It might involve 4 things. I'm seeing 4 equals complications. The bird is a small diamond within a bigger diamond. Smaller picture, bigger picture. Sometimes being neutral or on the fence, aka leaving it up to fate, is not always the route to go. We often say surrender take no action. Hell, even I say that depending on the circumstances or the advice at hand. But this calls for boldness. And I feel like that's finally what someone's doing. And I feel like this is also the moral of the story, the lesson here. Take action. Don't worry about how you look. Don't worry about like who's looking at you, who's doing what. So I feel like this is like this new phase that someone's stepping into. Now I'm seeing an actual fence, which symbolizes defensiveness or barrier, similar to the Nine of Wands. Just like the bird entered my territory, it looks like on the card he's expecting the same thing. Seeing a person or dealing with them in a new place that feels treacherous or weird. And there's also like those furniture details. It literally looks like a fence. Fences are usually like white picket fence, goes perfectly in a row. Or it's like that fence where all of them are kind of aligned. I'm even hearing, how am I seeing you everywhere? The Nine of Wands literally resembles a fence. I just saw this scenario of like a white picket once again, or like something that marks slash sets apart one property or house from another. Like, yo, get off my property, get off my land. This could also be potentially somebody crossing a boundary by showing up in private spaces. You know how like, it's like my neighborhood. Usually there's a point where you can't go further or else you're entering someone's private property and that's not okay. That's not your side. So it's like someone's entering your side. Your part. Your privacy. And I'm really not sure how to feel about it. Let me get one more card and finish this reading. So it's like, yeah, on the fence, but for how much longer? I love this message. And what do we have here? A shape, except it's not a diamond this time. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mentioned 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So it's like, I'm getting something's going to become even more complicated because I said 4 symbolizes complications. This is 8. Complexity. We have King. Enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your charge. Excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. That's literally that's what I said it. Like, I compared it to the audacity. I'm saying that like equals entitlement. People usually say that, like, the audacity of them. It's like they're just giving it all they have, aren't they? That's what this is. It's like I kept saying I wasn't sure if this is entitlement, weirdness, or if it's just assertiveness. Like, I don't care. I'm confident. I want that. It's like, that's attractive, right? But you also have to be wary of it. Like, is it their restraint? Do they know when to stop? It's almost like those romantic movies. It's where they hype up kind of like toxic behavior, like in Twilight, where Edward's like watching her sleep, and they sort of made it romantic looking. But if someone did that in person, if someone was in your house and you just wake up with them there, you'd be like, get out. What the hell? That's not romantic. That's not weird. So there's a need to differentiate between that, because often we're conditioned, I use that word all the time, to take things as they are. Like, oh my god, that's so cute, that's so romantic, but is it? There's a fine line, literally. So that's weird. King, and he's holding something, but he's not holding anything there. There's the sun. It's like he's holding the moon. He's holding the feminine energy, which is going to be given to the feminine energy. What the? Okay. That's insane. Okay, guys. That's the end of this aim, Amanda's Intuitive Movies, or the end of this message. Once again, I hope this inspired you to aim for the stars, aim for the trees, aim higher, place no limitations on yourself at all. That's the point. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, guys, there's more to come soon. Stay tuned for more art, more everything. Really appreciate your support. Please like, subscribe, support the channel in any way you can. I would really, really, really appreciate it. And yeah.